The Audi SQ9 is built around one borrowed engine, a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 lifted out of the outgoing RSQ8, 591 horsepower in Audi's new 2027 flagship. And this 3-row SUV is aimed at the Mercedes-AMG GLS 63. Audi says the SQ9 undercuts that Mercedes and still runs to 60 quicker. That is the pitch, though one catch complicates it, and we will come back to that. Subscribe now, because that red S in the grille unlocks hardware the base car never gets. Start with what you can hear, because the SQ9 keeps a real V8 while most rivals shrink and electrify. 4 liters, 2 turbos, 590 pound-feet of torque sent through Audi's permanent quattro. It is the last of the truly big Audi engines, and Audi knows it. So this is a send-off, dressed as a family SUV. From the side, the SQ9 hides its size well: low roof, long body, tight overhangs. Audi gave it a wider track than the standard Q9 with staggered wheels to match. Small details separate the S, like the mirror caps and the darker trim. And there is the S badge, the first one Audi has ever put on its largest car. It rides on air suspension as standard, which the base car makes optional. Quad exhausts and the SQ9 name in the metal. At the back, Audi went further than it needed to. The tail is one continuous band of light. A world first, yes, but on this car the lights are not the point. The reason to buy sits under the floor. So let the base Q9 own the light show. But the lights are theater, not the reason to buy. What earns the money is bolted underneath into hardware you cannot see. A badge is easy, and Audi did not stop at the badge. Every SQ9 gets chassis hardware you normally pay a lot more for. Start with the way it puts the power down. The quattro here is rear biased, sending most of the torque backward first. A locking rear differential helps it rotate through corners. The wheels run up to 23 inches, staggered front to rear. Behind them sit 16.5-inch front rotors, gripped by 6-piston calipers. That is serious stopping power on a 7-seat SUV. Audi also fits 4-wheel steering as standard, angling the back axle up to 9 degrees. At low speed, that tightens the turning circle. At speed, it is meant to make a very long car change direction with more urgency. On paper, the numbers are startling. Audi quotes 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds for something over 5,500 pounds. That is a claim, not a tested figure, because no journalist has driven this car yet. But if it holds, the SQ9 reaches 60 quicker than the Mercedes it targets. The Mercedes-AMG GLS 63 makes 603 horsepower and runs 4.1, so the Audi gives up 12 horses, yet claims to beat it off the line. That is the trick of this car: less power on paper, more pace in the launch. Quicker in theory. The lighting up front is the other showpiece: micro LED matrix headlights. Each unit packs tens of thousands of tiny mirrors that steer the beam around traffic. The matrix headlights come from Audi's most expensive tech bin. Here they sit on the fastest 3-row Audi yet. That is the theme of this car: big Audi hardware, sharpened by an S. But hardware and light shows only take you so far. The real surprise is inside, and it is where the SQ9 pulls ahead. Because this is the part the pictures never quite prepare you for. One last look outside, then we step in. 4 rings, 1 temper. Now the cabin. This is where the money quietly shows itself. Doors open. The first thing you notice is how calm it is, given how loud the engine can be. The dashboard wears a soft matte finish, not the gloss black Audi leaned on for years. Down on the console, the materials feel expensive, and the surviving switches have real weight. In front of the driver sits Audi's new digital stage, and it is not 1 screen, but 3. An 11.9-inch cluster and a 14.5-inch touchscreen tilted toward you. Then a third display for the passenger, so they get their own screen to play with. It should be a wall of glass, but Audi laid it out so it reads clean. Red stitching and S detailing mark this as the sporting one. The front seats are sports buckets, quilted, bolstered, the S logo pressed into each backrest. Climate and comfort keep their own controls, so you are not buried in menus. The tech runs deep, with hands-free, driving Audi says works to around 85 miles an hour. And the sound system is the real flex in here. A Bang & Olufsen setup, 22 speakers, 1360 watts. There are even speakers in the headrests, plus actuators that let the seats pulse with the music. It is the party trick you show a passenger once and they never forget it. 2 cooled wireless pads keep phones from cooking on a long drive. Out on the road, the SQ9 is a first look only because Audi has not handed keys to reviewers. Every dynamic claim here is Audi's, not ours. Back inside, the details keep landing. The cooled cup holders, the storage Audi actually planned for. With that torque and air springs, Audi expects it to shrink the long trips. The seats look properly sculpted, heated, cooled, and massaging on the higher trims. That embossed S in the leather is a small thing, but it sets the tone. This is a cabin built to be seen, not just sat in. Overhead, a huge glass roof stretches across both rows. And it dims electronically, switching from clear to shaded in 9 separate sections. It is the sort of detail that used to live only in six-figure limousines. For Audi, that is the argument, limousine luxury in a shape that seats 7. And crucially, the pictures can actually show all of this, unlike some rivals still hiding theirs. The second row is where the space pays off. 3 rows, 7 seats standard, or 6 with captain's chairs for the lounge feel. So here is the money question, because everything so far points at one number. The SQ9 starts at about $118,000. The Mercedes-AMG it chases starts near $151,000. That is roughly $33,000 of daylight for the car claiming to be quicker. But there is a catch, and the number chasers will spot it fast. This is a war mess, not a full-blooded RS or AMG Halo. 591 horsepower is actually down on the AMG's 603. It trails the Range Rover Sport SV's 626 and the Escalade-V's 682. The rumored 700 horsepower hybrid never landed, and no RSQ9 sits above it yet. So the outright power crown is not the pitch. The pitch is quicker, cheaper, and genuinely plush, and on that, it delivers. So who is it for? Buy the SQ9 if you want AMG pace and an A8 cabin for a good deal less. Skip it if you wanted the 700 horsepower Halo that never came. Cross-shop the Mercedes-AMG GLS 63 and the Escalade-V, and for max cargo, a bigger box out hauls its 19 cubic feet. On the Auto TV score, it lands a 9.1. And if the price stings, the base Q9 makes the same statement for 30 grand less, on screen now.